Hi, I'm Pattu from FreeFinCal, and in this video, let's review SBI Small Cap Mutual Fund, which has exhibited solid performance in the small cap segment. So before we begin, I want to warn you, especially new investors, about small cap mutual funds. They have too much risk and they do not provide enough reward. Suddenly, 1 year they will zoom 100% and then they'll fall by 30-40%, and then they'll give you nothing for many years and so on. So be very, very careful about investing in small cap mutual funds. I strongly believe that nobody needs small cap mutual funds. You just need one large cap and one mid cap mutual fund. That's more than enough. Two mutual funds or just one large and mid cap fund or one multi cap fund. That's all you ever need for your portfolio. If you want to invest in small cap funds, please be aware that AUM, increase in AUM is a problem. If it becomes more, the fund manager will have difficulty finding opportunities in this segment. The fund will often stop lump sum subscriptions. They will often stop SIP, even SIP subscriptions also. Inflow will be limited. Outflow is not a problem. You can redeem whenever you want, but inflow will be limited often. Even for this fund, inflow was limited, as I'll explain. If you're going to invest in a small cap fund, please be aware that you need to book profit from time to time. Depending, you can use technical indicators like 200-day daily moving averages or a combination of daily moving averages. I have several posts on this. You have to pull out tactically and also put in money tactically in order to lower risk and maximize your profit in such funds. Otherwise, they will not work. You can't just buy and hold for the future. Very, very, very dangerous. I have a video on comparing large cap with mid cap and some small cap. You will understand why just holding a lot of mid caps and small caps is not enough for the future. You need to manage your risk also actively. So it's not about systematic investing, it's about investing with a system. So with all that said, if you were to pick a small cap fund, or if I were to pick a small cap fund, what I would do is go, let's say, go to the value research list of small cap funds and list the funds sort by descending assets under management, AUM, and this is what you get. If you look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 funds, these 5 funds have almost 5,000 crores and more AUM. Some of them have more, of course. They were all small cap funds to begin with, and the bottom 4 funds, they were all small and mid cap kind of funds, and after the SEBI categorization rules were implemented, they became formally small cap funds. And out of this 4, I have just used SBI Small Cap Fund, but we will see the performance of SBI Small Cap with respect to the other funds as well. You can look at ABSL Small Cap Fund or Kotak Small Cap Fund or even the Sundaram Small Cap Fund, which when I have looked at it in the past, it was called Sundaram Smile Fund. It did not perform so well. So I had written in the article today, which is linked below, that by instinct I will not look at Sundaram. But it's up to you. You can have a look at it. With respect to the other funds, the top funds, the point is that I am looking at this as a new investor. That is, I am saying I do not have a small cap fund in my portfolio and I am trying to get one. So if that is the situation, this is what I would do. I would avoid these large AUM funds and stick to kind of 1,500, 2,000 crore AUM. So there's some leverage available for the fund to grow and get some returns. Because I think it's going to be difficult for funds of this size to generate for returns proportional to the small cap space. Although there is no evidence of it, let's be very clear about it. There is absolutely no evidence to support this speculation. As of now, these funds are doing well. Let's be very clear about it. But the worry is that when the market picks up again, everybody will start pouring money into such funds, and then the AUM will increase. It's not about large AUM; it's about getting a large amount of money suddenly, and then the fund manager struggling to find opportunities. So that is the reason why many of these funds have SIPs going on. So you can slowly, gradually, the money can come in via SIP, just like drip irrigation, and the fund manager will be able to push them into small cap space. So think of this as this bottom as a short list for a small cap investor. I mean, this is what I would do, but you can choose the top as well. That's up to you. And I've just taken one such one. So with regard to the SBI Small Cap Fund, earlier it was called as SBI Small and Mid Cap Fund, and from May 15, 2018 onwards, because of the SEBI rules, SBI announced that it will now be a proper small cap fund, SBI Small Cap Fund. It defines small cap as the bottom 100 of the top 500 stocks by market capitalization. So that was actually a very narrow definition, and most of the stocks would be super volatile, and it could invest in 50 to 70% of such small caps. It also said in the scheme document that once its AUM crosses 750 crores, then they may stop inflows, and they did stop inflows in October 2015. And after the change to small and mid cap, from small and mid cap it became a small cap. After that change, they opened it for subscription via SIP route only. I think maximum 25,000 is allowed per month, per plan. Now, the reason why it changed it is because the definition of a small cap has become broader. From earlier the bottom 100, now it is the bottom 250 stocks in terms of the top 500. So that's a little more broader definition of the small cap, and it can invest in 65 to 100% of small caps. The benchmark of the fund does not change as far as I know. It is S&P BSE Small Cap 250 index. We will be using the Nifty 250 Small Cap index for comparison, simply because it's easier to download and faster. So that's that. So let's compare the rolling returns and risk. I could only find NAV data for this fund from November 2013 onwards, although it has been in existence for 5 years before that. So I've chosen the direct plan, and I have compared this fund, the rolling returns over 3 years, and rolling risk, that is the standard deviation, for two sets. One is SBI Small Cap versus Nifty Small Cap 250 total returns. So this is the bottom 250 of the Nifty 500 stocks. Franklin Smaller Companies, DSP Small Cap, L&T Emerging Business, HDFC Small Cap, and Reliance Small Cap. And so this is the comparison. You'll have to pause the screen a bit to have a look at it. Or you can look at the article link. It gives you a much better picture. You can zoom the picture and so on. So SBI Small Cap is the pink fund, and you are seeing 545 3-year rolling return data points in each of those colored lines for investments that matured between November 2016 to February 2019. So the investments was made 3 years before that. So there are 545 data points in each line. The Nifty Small Cap 250 is the blue line that's at the bottom. So most of these funds have done very well compared to the Nifty Small Cap Index. Franklin Smaller Companies is the red line. The pink line is our fund, the SBI Small Cap Fund, the fund currently under study, and you can notice that has done decently well in this regime. Only L&T Emerging Business, which was underperforming here with respect to SBI fund, has kind of caught up with it and so on. And then there is the two more lines. I think you can't see I'm afraid the legend is kind of cut down. Please look at the article link. So the legend is here. So there's a white line. So there is this brown line. The brown line is Reliance Small Cap. You can see the brown line somewhere here, and that's there. So you can please do see the article for a detailed description. At the bottom you have the rolling risk. Again, 545 points in each line. For rolling risk, the lower the line, the lower the risk, and you can see that the SBI Small Cap Fund is less risky than the Small Cap 250 index, but there are many other small cap funds which are less volatile. So, but people do not choose these funds for volatility. They don't mind the volatility. So, I think it's decent performance. So, as a second comparison set, we are looking at SBI Small Cap versus ABSL Small Cap, Sundaram Small Cap, Kotak Small Cap, Nifty Small Cap 50, and the Nifty Mid Small Cap 400, which is a blend index. To understand about these indices, you can look at the Nifty chart. This is a Nifty 500. Top 100 stocks are large cap, middle 150 stocks are mid cap, and bottom 250 are called small cap. Nifty Small Cap 50 is the top 50 in this 250, and then there's a top 100 in this 250. And the Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 is the combination of this 150 mid cap and 250 small cap. So again, let's have a look at that. Again, you can see that the pink line, which is the SBI Small Cap Fund, that's done quite well compared to all the other funds. And of course, in terms of risk, if you look at the or the volatility, there are other candidates which have done well. For example, the okay, in this set, the pink line is kind of the lowest. And so among the active funds, the SBI Small Cap has the lowest volatility out of these active funds compared. But it doesn't matter. The volatility is not really a key point here. In terms of returns, SBI Small Cap has done quite well, quite decently. I mean, there's no need to say this is the best fund or not. I don't know about that. But if you look at the within the period considered, which is not too large in terms of data points or in terms of duration, within the 3-year return period considered, SBI Small Cap has done well. That much there is no doubt about. So in summary, I will again reiterate that there is no need for a small cap fund. But if you do want to invest in a small cap fund, please choose a fund with a low AUM. Watch out for sudden increases in AUM. Use technical indicators like moving averages or whatever to periodically move in and out of the small cap funds. You can move in and out from a large cap fund to a small cap fund, or you can move from a small cap fund to debt instrument, whatever. You can do it whatever way you want to play it. What is from the limited data point that we have considered, SBI Small Cap Fund has done quite well. There's no doubt about it. New investors can consider it, but we must be clear that it will fall severely. For example, in the last 1 year, it has fallen by 21% almost. So it's not easy to hold small cap funds. So you have to be careful. Existing investors and other small cap funds need not shift their funds, but or worry about it. But they must really have a proper risk management strategy with respect to small cap. Otherwise, what will happen is all the gains they got will suddenly evaporate and they'll feel bad about it. So please have a strategy when you're investing in small caps. Have that strategy in place and then worry about which small cap fund to invest in. So I'll catch you in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.